you'll find my 409. Get out of my dreams. Get into my car. I can't drive 55. Mustang Sally, guess you better slow your Mustang down. Fun, 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 till your daddy takes a T-Rex away. Ooh, like a smooth stretch of highway. I'm your vehicle, baby. You got me where you wanna go. You know I love you, I need you, I want to have your child.
The world's fastest, sexiest sports cars and some of the world's great drivers have come to Sonoma, California with the Infineon Grand Prix presented by Foster's Lager. The American Le Mans Series is on NBC Sports, round 3 of the 2003 season in the beautiful wine country of Northern California. Qualifying yesterday saw several surprises, especially at the front of the grid. Let's get the story. Here's Jan Beekes.
On the pole for the LMP 900 class, no surprise, the defending champions, the car won, of course, the Infineon Team Yost Audi. Now, they won Le Mans 3 years running, but you know, today, this car, which is supposed to be the fastest class in the series, is not even starting on the front row. Because take a look at this. It has been swept by the lighter, more nimble LMP 675 class. The Dyson entry, with incredible speed, has swept the front row here. James Weaver, Butch Leitzinger putting the car on the pole with amazing speed. But will they have the reliability to bring this thing home in front after 2 hours and 45 minutes? Martin?
Motor racing's a funny old game. Outpaced in qualifying, 4th on the grid. You might not expect too many smiles around the ADT champion Audi team, but they can barely wipe the grins off their faces. And why? Last time out, after 4 seasons of trying, they finally won their first American Le Mans Series race, and they have never been more ready for a race than they are here at the Infineon Raceway. We caught up with Joker in the pack Johnny Herbert at his home in Monaco to find out more about the Englishman beneath the race suit.
It's nice, and you know the good thing about this place is obviously it's the perfect place for training. And in my style of job, it's what we need to do. And here it's just absolutely perfect. As you can see it's Monaco down the bottom, and the only way to get out of Monaco is up. So from that point of view, it's great being able to go up in the mountains here, and when the weather's like this, it's a glorious place.
Herbert splits his time between homes in Monte Carlo and England. Travel and a full testing schedule don't leave much time for hobbies except for golf, which on occasion provides challenges of a much different sort.
It's generally, there's not that much time though. Golf is something I always like to do and relax, and there's a couple of places around here where you can go, so that's nice to do. Unfortunately, unfortunately I've got a slice, and that slice is never there when I go back after a long break. And then within a very short space of time, it seems to sort of redevelop itself and invents itself into being, I'm sure, twice as bad as it was the last time I played. So the slice is my biggest problem, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy trying to get that stupid ball down that stupid little hole. The worst thing I've ever done, which was really when I was young, I don't do it anymore, was fishing. I used to go fishing and I used to get all the tackling. I used to make the rod up and then thread all the line through, put the hook on, the float, get all ready for it, put it in, and then wait. And wait, and wait, and God wait. So all that I used to whip it back out again, cut the hook off, put a leisure on it, and then I just actually try and leisure as far as I could, because I just got bored to death. So golf isn't quite that bad. So.
After opening the year at Sebring in the Bentley and then running second at Le Mans for the British car maker, Herbert will drive the rest of the season with J.J. Leto in the champion Audi. They scored the team's first ever win at Atlanta, but because they were split at Sebring, Herbert will have to support Leto the rest of the year.
That's how it went. I was second and he was third, and now I'm ahead of points with him, so he has to help me, basically.
I'm now there to help him win the championship. And I'm not happy.
So you're number 2 to JJ?
I'm number 2. can't believe it.
It's just a funny thing, but, you know, he's a man who can take it.
If you think I'm going to help you, boy, you just think of... Anyway.
And hello again, everyone. With Bill Adam, I'm Rick Benjamin. Great to be with you today from Infineon Raceway. That byplay between Herbert and Leto, that speaks well for the team, doesn't it?
It really does, because it's something you never quite know how it's going to work out when you get two potential superstars like a Jerry Rice and a Tim Brown on a football team. Will they work together, or do they each want to hog the spotlight? But in this case, they're working very well.
Well, that team is noted for good qualifying efforts. They're not going to start up front, as we've already heard. What benefited the 675 cars?
Well, partly the track, really. I mean, these are well set up cars, but it's a track without a long straight. Someplace where high horsepower would really come into play. The light cars accelerate quicker off the corners than the heavier ones, and to make passing even harder, they brake better too, so it's a challenge for Audi today.
And this track particularly seems suited to the 675s, as we'll see in our Yokohama course description.
You can see that really there is no straight on the track at all. It's a series of long, winding corners, and the only actual straight is heading up there to turn 7. That is short enough that the big cars, the LM900s, because they weigh 900 kilos, they don't have a top speed advantage. The 675s are right there at every point.
Well, there's a big surprise as well. Toward the back of the grid, the GT and GTS classes, not what we would normally see in qualifying, right, Jan Bikus?
One of the strategies that the teams use in qualifying is don't send your car out right away, because everyone knows that the track gets faster at the end of qualifying. The problem? If something goes wrong, you may not record a time at all. Well, they split up the qualifying divisions here in the 4 classes that will race today, and that was a problem for the GTS and the GT classes, including the GTS class leader, the 3 Corvette of Johnny O'Connell and Ron Fellows, and the leaders in the GT division, the Alex Job 23 entry of Lucas Luhr and Sasha Mawson. They will start effectively at the back of the field today because they did not record a time after an accident on the racetrack. Now, that may have been a backfired strategy for the Alex Job team. They said the first time in 13 years that has happened, but these cars are fast and they'll be coming in a hurry from the back.
All right, thank you, Jan Bikus. More than 30 cars, though, will take the green today. Traffic will certainly be an issue here at Infineon Raceway. The cars are on the track for some pace laps. Let's check our best Western starting grid.
I'm Butch Leisinger from Reepersburg, Pennsylvania, driver of the number 16 MG Lola. My teammate is the lovely and talented James Weaver.
Hi, my name's Andy Wallace. I'm from Oxford in England. I drive the number 20 Dyson Racing Thetford Norcold Lola. My co-driver is Chris Dyson.
Hi, I'm Frank Bieler from Germany, and I'm in car number 1, the Infineon Jost Audi, and my co-driver is Marco Werner.
Hi, I'm JJ Lehto and I come from Espoo, Finland. I'm driving for car number 38 Champion Audi, and my co-driver is Johnny Herbert.
Hi, my name is Didier Theys. I'm from Belgium. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I drive the Dallara Jut Lista number 27. My co-driver this weekend is Bill Oberlin.
Hi, my name's Gunnar Jeanette. I'm from West Palm Beach, Florida. I drive the number 10 Panos, and my co-driver is the very rapid Olivier Beretta.
Hi, my name's Tommy Dreesy. I'm from Hollywood, California. I drive the number 12 Amerisweets LMP 900. My co-driver is Mike Lewis.
Hi, my name's Oliver Gavin. I'm from Northampton, England, and I'm driving the 4 car with Kelly Collins.
Hi, my name's Clint Field. I'm from Dublin, Ohio, driver of the number 30 Intersport Lola, and my co-driver is Rick Sutherland.
Hi, my name's Jeff Bucknam. I'm from Lake Havasu City, Arizona, driver of car number 56, and my co-drivers are Brian Willman and Chris McMurray.
Hi, I'm Jörg Bergmeister from Langenfeld, Germany. I'm driver of the 24 Alex Job Porsche, and my teammate is Timo Bernhard.
That group will start in 13th. We'll show you the rest of the starting field here for the Infineon Grand Prix. Naspetti and Scatarella in one of the Ferraris qualifying 11th. Going 19th, the veteran David Murray in car number 79. Take a look at the rest of the starting field. Ron Fellows, Johnny O'Connell, Bill Adam from 27th today.
It's going to be a bit of a problem, but one thing in their advantage for both of these drivers, their experience tells them the race isn't won on lap 1. They can be patient.
We saw one set of names toward the back of the field, Tracy Wolfson, but John Field and his group won't be taking the green today.
That's right. The numbers 37 car, John Field and Duncan Dayton, will not be on the track today. They are the class winners, the 675 class winners at Atlanta. And yesterday, during the practice, they came over a hill and crashed into the number 43 Porsche. Fortunately, no one was injured, but the MG Lola was so badly damaged, it could not be fixed. Intersport Racing tried to buy another car to race today, but they were unsuccessful. Right now, they're working on getting another Lola from England to race at Three Rivers, but with only 1 week, it's going to be tough. They do expect, though, to be at Mosport.
And we will be at Mosport, of course, on NBC Sports. We certainly hope that they're able to return to the field. John Field, Duncan Dayton won their category at Road Atlanta 1 month ago, Bill Adams. So them, not being in the field today certainly hurts their championship hopes. As we watch the field head toward the final turn here at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California, getting set for the green flag. Glad to have you with us on NBC Sports with Bill Adam, I'm Rick Benjamin, Martin Haven, Jan Beekes, Tracy Wolfson down on pit road. Green flag is in the air, and here we go.
And J.J. Lehto once again gets around the outside of the Yost Audi going up into turn 1. Boy, this is becoming a patented move for him. He is really starting to play head games with the Yost car. Very clean right now. Here's the champion ADT car right ahead.
This is Frank Biela, the Infineon Yost Audi. Very familiar team at the front of the pack. Uncharacteristic to see them fourth.
Oh, yeah, this is just spectacular watching JJ. At Road Atlanta, he was simply brilliant. And watch the bottom of the screen, too. Take advantage of our Porsche Digital Pilot telemetry. Keep an eye on the speeds, the G loading down through the corners. Enormous with these cars. This is something. This should be a good battle. Remember the little cars, the 675s. They're on Goodyear tires. And look at the Audi.
Lehto trying to take second spot away from the 20 car with Andy Wallace.
Oh, boy, I thought he had him there right there. Now remember that both of the Audis are on Michelin tires. They are a little bit better on a warm-up than the Goodyear tires. He is pushing very hard, trying to take advantage and get around the LM675 car.
Rob Dyson's 2 MG Lolas wearing Goodyear tires. They've done a lot of development work to improve those Goodyears. The big question is, will they last for the whole afternoon, Bill?
Well, if there's a car that can make it last, here is a great look out the back. This is on board Butch Leitzinger. And Butch has been, by the way, blindingly fast all weekend long. It is hard to outdo James Weaver, but Butch is doing it this weekend. And look how it pulls off the corner here. Just so quick through the gears.
The Dyson team has only had these MG Lolas for less than 1 full year. They debuted them at Mosport last year.
We've seen the cars. They have shown enormous potential, and I think it's a case of fine-tuning that's been troubling them so far. Much like went through with the Audi. When the Audis were first unveiled, they were not world beaters. Now they are, and it just simply took time.
These cars, of course, much lighter. They can run at a minimum of 675 kilos, about 1,500 pounds. They could have as much as a 300-pound weight advantage over the Audis.
Exactly right. The Audi is a 900-kilo car, a little over 1,900 pounds. They do have the horsepower advantage, but when you vary the weight and the horsepower, the pound per weight, the amount of weight you're using for each horsepower, is virtually identical.
Veteran Frank Biela, 3 wins at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, part of the dominant Yost Audi team. They've gone from 2 to 1 car this year, Bill. Has that hurt the Yost team?
Well, in a way it does. I guess with 2 cars or 3 cars, you can double or triple your chances. But the one thing on having a single car is that you don't have your focus taken away. I think that's good for Yost.
Leitzinger continues to lead. Andy Wallace, second team owner Rob Dyson, who's been at this game for well into his 3rd decade now, not here this weekend. Recently had some shoulder surgery, and we miss seeing Rob at the racetrack. His son Chris will drive the 20 car with Andy Wallace a little bit later on. Show you the standings, top of the screen, your Audi running order. As we watch the top 4 cars, the 2 675 Lola MGs from the Dyson stable, ADT champion number 38 Audi R8, followed by Frank Biela, and Reinhold Yost silver number 1 car.
Boy, Butch looks so good there in that lead car, but Andy Wallace, he is about as good a backup driver in the second car as you could ask for. And there's a great battle right there. That is the Corvette, Oliver Gavin. No, sorry, that's the number 3 car.
Ron Fellows trying to come from the back of the field. Remember, they didn't qualify very well. Had to line up back around 27th position today.
Yeah, and I think they just have to exercise patience. But again, as I started to point out, both Ronnie Fellows and Johnny O'Connell, so experienced, they can be patient. They know they have 2 hours and 45 minutes to do it, so they're not going to take a chance, put the car in a risky position.
Fellows in car number 3, already up to 15, so he's gobbled up 12 cars in just the first handful of laps. 2 laps on the board.
And the other thing that these guys are so pleased about this weekend, one of the weak points, if there is such a thing as a weak point on the Corvette team, is the tire situation. Goodyear tires have not been up good. Back on the number 4 car. Oliver Gavin, Ronnie Fellows, all the guys have been very, very happy with these new Goodyear tires. They're saying they have finally stepped up. They may have found something, and they're actually looking quite optimistic.
One of the advantages Michelin has normally had the last several years, their tires slow a little bit early in a run, but then they level off. They don't get any slower.
Very, very consistent, and that's something that's so good for the drivers as well as the crews. If your tires last, you don't have to make that many changes in a pit stop.
Gavin in that 4 car, 8th overall. Your leader continues to be the 16, Butch Leitzinger, setting a blinding, blistering pace. He's got a 2.5 lead over his teammate Andy Wallace at Infineon Raceway in the early going. It's the Infineon Grand Prix, the American Le Mans Series. We'll be back with plenty more on NBC Sports.
Michelin designed the cross-terrain SUV tires specifically for SUVs to help provide responsive handling and a smooth ride. You'd be surprised just how smooth. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Chill out, cash in. Buy 4 Michelin tires and get a $50 rebate. See your Michelin dealer. Offer ends July 31st.
The world's largest hotel chain is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Visit bestwestern.com or call 1-800-WESTERN.
Let's circle back to Cincinnati with those figures. You know, I'm worried about Red Bull.
Oh, no. It's off? Okay, I'll be right there. Guys, I gotta go.
I think we can achieve substantial market penetration in Pacific Rim.
That's awful. Really sorry, but I have to go.
The new Boxster. It is perhaps the perfect getaway car.
Our NBC Sports coverage of the American Le Mans Series Infineon Grand Prix presented by Foster's Lager, being brought to you today by Porsche for the pure sport of driving, and by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tire. Beautiful time of the year to visit one of the most beautiful sections of these United States, Northern California, just about 50 miles north of San Francisco. We're at Infineon Raceway, the American Le Mans Series on NBC Sports. And Bill Adam, while we were away for a moment, J.J. Leto really on the move.
He's brilliant again. I mean, just absolutely fantastic in this ADT champion car. He seems to get the bit between his teeth, and as we pointed out, the car has not been good in any practice or any qualifying session, but suddenly the race starts, and J.J. gets the fire in his eyes.
The 38th car of Leto now in second. He got by Frank Vila and Andy Wallace to move into second, where he's pressuring Butch Leitzinger. Let's show you how he made the move to second a few moments ago.
He had been having a great fight with Wallace. He was being very patient, but watch this outside move, getting through very, very heavy traffic here. You see Andy just sliding up there. Look at JJ starting it right around the outside again. Like Road Atlanta, he took that outside line. The risk factor is so high because the traction is not good out at that part of the pavement. We're on board here.
Take another look.
And look at all the traffic. Now he's out in the gray area. Tremendously slippery track. He sticks it up the inside, makes it look easy. What talent.
And we'll show you the gap now. Butch Leitzinger continues to lead in the Bedford Norcold MG Lola from the Dyson Racing Stable. That's Leto and the ADT champion 38 right behind him. 2 car lengths is the gap. Downhill through the S's here at Infineon. Leto, I think, is being patient, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, but I think he's doing one thing that he has to do, and that's to try and pressure a little bit all the time. Don't let Butch get to the point where he can back off. Remember, this car is still largely unproven. They have not had a win yet with the 675 cars, and the Goodyear tires may be unproven. Leto knows what he's on. The Audi is virtually bulletproof. He knows the Michelins are superior, so push, push, push. That's what I do.
The driver leading right now, Butch Leitzinger, in that number 16 from Pennsylvania, arguably the best professional road racer in America today. He has plenty of experience driving the big bore cars as well. But let's go back and look at one of the other races within this race. For GT, we show you the standings at the top of your screen. And the GT leader, the number 24, McKenna Joe Racing Porsche. This is Jörg Bergmeister. Ralph Kellener's in second in the GT Ferrari, the 360 Modena, as we show you the standings after 2 races. The driver points, Sasha Massa and Lucas Luhr, 2 of Alex Jobe's drivers. Bernhard and Bergmeister, who will share the car that's leading right now, right behind him.
Yeah, the Ferrari keeps. There's one of the GTS
Pro
cars.
Drive Ferraris has gone off.
Wow, now earlier this weekend, they also had a little bit of an off. Let's see whose car this is.
That's the number 88 machine in GTS. That's the car of Enga and Peter Cox. That's the team that's been the veteran pairing in this Pro Drive group. They've added 2 great pros to their team this weekend. Jan Magnussen, David Brabham in the 80, and we see the 88 spinning all by himself.
Yeah, he just came up over the top of turn 2 there. It's very easy to do that because you're down second gear. The car is getting light. In fact, here's just another look just near the end of it. So just watch as he gets the car just looping around sideways. Easy to do, 600 horsepower, and the car is getting light.
Enga and Cox caught up in the scramble yesterday in qualifying. They did not qualify well at all. Had to start from the back. They were working their way toward the front. That spin set them back.
Guys, the Ferrari team are using a brand new composition of Michelin tire this weekend. And the tyres trying to make the back end of the car handle it a little more progressively under braking. When the nose dives, the rear wing loses grip under braking, and the back end has been braking away very severely. Now, the new Michelin tyre for this weekend is to try and make that a little bit more manageable. Clearly, there's still a touch more work to be done in that direction.
This is Peter Cox driving the 88 car right now. Sits 4th in GTS, but he has lost a lap. He's about 19 seconds behind Ron Fellows, who is 3rd in the Corvette. He, too, having to come from the back of the pack. So far, the dominant car in GTS, the number 4 Corvette. Oliver Gavin driving that car at the moment, starting that car, qualifying that car. Let's ride with Ollie.
Well, actually, right now, I think we're looking out of the Pro Drive car. So this is how close this battle has come. Magnussen and Brabham started way back in the field, but they have closed right up. That is the leading Corvette immediately ahead. Oliver Gavin, the yellow car, right through the windshield there. This battle is tremendous. It should be good fun. I mean, watching Magnussen anything, I'd watch him on ice skates. Yeah. He's just such a brilliant driver, and he's been enjoying it. My one question is, how will he contend with the heat? He's used to an open car, and this is a hot car.
This is the battle for 10th overall and for the lead in GTS. The yellow Corvette up ahead of the 4 car, and here he goes.
There's the leaders going by as well. You see one of the, that's the 3rd and 4th place cars, I believe, the Dyson car, and then the Yost Audi just went by us.
Riding with Magnussen and the other Pro Drive Ferrari. Up the hill. Jan Bikas.
Phil, you just mentioned about how they're going to deal with the heat. In fact, Jan Magnussen as well as David Brabham have decided to go with the cool suits. They tried the beginning part of the weekend without any driver aids, and they said it just flat couldn't do it. And as soon as they tried the driver cool suit, pumping cold water through a vest, they got out with huge smiles and said, if this thing continues the whole race, this is definitely the way to go.
That does help. It feels wonderful when you get something just to help give off that heat. It can really sap a driver's concentration, and that becomes dangerous.
Almost as good as air conditioning.
Oh, I wish.
Battling for the lead in GTS. Here comes the Ferrari. Magnussen right behind Ollie Gavin.
I don't think he's going to rattle Ollie, but he's not going to bump him either. It's not quite NASCAR.
Magnussen's eye view, if you will, as they head down through the S's here at Sears. This track was known for many years as Sears Point Raceway, now Infineon Raceway.
I'll probably always call it Sears myself. These cars are really well matched. Both the Corvette and the Ferrari have done extensive aero testing even since the last race. And Ferrari just did 2 days of aero testing at Ontario Motor Speedway. They were very pleased with the results. Have a new rear wing. Said it gave them a lot more rear downforce, and he closes up on the Corvette under braking gear. Now they're coming by the pits. Hear how fast it shifts.
Yeah. Ollie Gavin, a very capable driver out of England. He's driven prototypes. He's tested Formula One cars. Joined this team about 1.5 years ago, and now has taken a regular ride in the Chevrolet Corvette this season.
Interesting there, too. See how much Ollie pulled away at that section of track. He's teamed with Kelly Collins here. Kelly, a California driver, of course.
Watching Magnussen. Gavin, certainly with his hands full with Magnussen behind. Great battle for the lead in GTS. Oliver Gavin really influenced by a former world champion in this sport.
Well, when I first looked at getting into racing karts, the one person that really stood out was Gilles Villeneuve. I remember watching Grand Prix, and he was so flamboyant and he was so skilled, and he was just like a cut above the rest. And he was the one person that sort of motivated me in my early years. And then when I was racing in the early 90s and started off in cars, it was Senna that was the real motivation and the real sort of figurehead, the person that you would look towards, see what he's doing, and you'd try and sort of copy some of the things that he had done. So they're the two main drivers that I'd really look towards.
Certainly a driver to model yourself after.
He sure is. What a great guy.
Oliver Gavin, the CompuWare Chevrolet Corvette leading GTS, but Jan Magnussen in the Pro Drive Ferrari right behind him as they battle for 10th overall. Race leader continues to be Butch Leitzinger as we show you the GTS leaders.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest rated midsize sedan among owners. And 50 international awards for the speed readers. The Mazda 6. Now get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years or $1,500 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
How to speak Australian. Devotion. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
One of the beautiful things about women is they don't sweat or smell like a guy. Our body chemistry is just different.
Introducing Arm & Hammer Ultramax Antiperspirant Gel.
It's made for a man's body chemistry.
Ultramax stops odor at the source. So strong, tests show it offers superior odor protection versus the leading gel at 8, 12, even 24 hours.
It's all the muscle a man needs.
New Arm & Hammer Ultramax Gel.
How to speak Australian.
Oi.
Keeper.
Shall we?
Absolutely. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Face it, at Best Western, kids are simply priceless. Which is why kids stay free at over 4,000 Best Westerns worldwide. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Visit bestwestern.com or call 1-800-WESTERN.
High-flying bike stunt action at the next stop of the Vans Triple Crown Series, the Right Guard Extreme Sport BMX Championships, next Saturday, 5 Eastern, NBC.
Back in the wine country of Northern California, Infineon Raceway. Many pastoral scenes surrounding this beautiful race course. The American Le Mans Series on NBC Sports, the Infineon Grand Prix, the third round of the 2003 season. Take a ride with overall race leader Butch Leitzinger, who's more than a second ahead of J.J. Leto, and this is a 675 prototype, one of the lightweight cars. Be sure to log on to NBCSports.com, get the latest auto racing news and results, and our in-depth coverage of NASCAR. Plenty of analysis and comment. Betty Parsons, Alan Bestwick, and all the guys at NBCSports.com. And the teammate to Leitzinger, the other Dyson car on pit road, Martin.
Yeah, they just left. They just had a stop for fuel. Now, it may be that they didn't start the race with full tanks, because these things will not have to run 3 full stints. So it could be that they've taken their short fueling early in the race. Let's face it, you're on pole position with the front row swept. Why not get some good TV exposure?
Could be the strategy, but Wallace now dropping to 4th. This gives Frank Vila an opportunity to put the Yost Audi up in 3rd.
Yeah, and I'm wondering really what that does. That just doesn't make any sense that he was running at such a nice fast pace at that point. I'm wondering perhaps fuel starvation maybe, and that's why he came in to see if he could get rid of it. Uh-oh.
Riding with J.J. Leto in the 38 car, running in 2nd. JJ's been walked by traffic a couple of times before we came back. He was almost 2 seconds back. Now he's drawn right up on Leitzinger's rear deck.
Right away. Traffic's just playing such a big part here, trying to squeeze by the Corvette. Now, the little flames you see come out the back of that car right ahead. This is right there, going down through the corner. Nothing to worry about.
Trouble for one of the
88.
Ferraris.
Looks like he just spun again.
Peter Cox again in the Pro Drive Ferrari. The 88 car running 14th overall, 4th in GTS. Has gone off for the second time.
Boy, oh boy. And that is just about the same place as he did it before. That's coming up the hill from turn 1. Oh, and he lost it way early.
He was on the throttle very hard. Lucky he didn't hit anything.
Oh, I guarantee you his heart rate's about 400 right there, because that's a 120-mile-an-hour corner.
Now watch Jan Magnussen in the team car, the 80. They're second in GTS.
Man, Jan.
Nearly, look at him power slide that car to get it pointed in the right direction.
Holy gee.
Actually, a burnout just to get out of the way.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see if he's going to have to make a pit stop just to check that car over. We're back on board. He's live. He's going by the pits. He's not coming in this time. And he gave that thing a tremendous shot.
Now, for those of you just joining us or new to road racing, chances are he thoroughly flat spotted the tires when he made that move.
Guarantee he flat spotted the front tires, but what I'm more concerned about is actually the puncture maybe up front in the radiator.
Oh, look at the damage on the nose of Magnussen's car.
Enormous damage, and that is going to have a huge aerodynamic effect as well. The front of the car should lift as he goes through high-speed corners and down any sort of straight here.
He did make contact with one of the 675s. We see the Team Bucknam car slow down the front straightaway. Not sure if that was the car. I thought it was the 18 on board the Dark Dog machine. This is the Team Bucknam entry in the 675 category. They're running 13th with Jeff Bucknam at the wheel.
Yeah, at least he's making it up the hill, so the car is still running, but very, very slowly. That's just a spot where Peter Cox spun a moment ago, so the fact that he's able to go uphill shows he is still under power. Uh-oh.
Trouble out back. Looks like he's got a cut down left rear tire.
The rear part
broken.
Yeah, that's a control arm that's broken on the back.
I thought it was the 18 of Jason Workman that had made the contact with Magnussen in that little skirmish up at the hairpin. So this is a different situation with a different 675 prototype.
And he's just doing everything he can to keep that on the road and try and get around as safely as possible. He's actually doing a nice job keeping it off the line, allowing the faster cars to go by on the piece of road that they want to be on.
The great Ronnie Bucknam's son, Jeff, trying to get that car back around the pit road and not bring out a full course caution. We're in the first hour of action here at Infineon Raceway.
Some of the other cars just flashing by there. Oh, man.
I'm amazed he's able to steer the car, Bill, with that broken rear suspension piece. I mean, that car's trying to steer by the back wheels.
Yeah, that's three-wheel steering at this point.
Let's check in on GT. The production cars, Ferraris, Porsches doing battle. The Kevin Buckler's machines, the Alex Job cars, of course. This is a category that's been dominated by Porsche for so long. The number 24 leading, Jörg Bergmeister. That's one of the McKenna Alex Job cars. But now for second, Lucas Luhr in the 23. They had trouble in qualifying. They've caught Ralph Kellerner's in the Ferrari, number 35. Johnny Molen in the 31. The Peterson car runs in fourth in GT. Kevin Buckler is fifth in the blue number 66, the Racers Group. There's the 23 of Luhr. He is third in the category. He's only half a second. That's Kellerner's right in front of him in the red car. And here's Kevin Buckler in the Racers Group machine. Buckler, of course, winner of the Porsche Cup a year ago. His team won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 2002, among many other victories. For 18th and 19th overall in GT category dominance, Kellerner's and Luhr going at each other there.
And it's hard to put money against Lucas Luhr. Both he and Sasha Massett are so quick in this car, and it's always well prepared.
Here's the GT leader, though, the number 24, Jörg Bergmeister. Timo Bernhard share that car. Bergmeister at the wheel. There's the 23 with Luhr.
Talking earlier with the Porsche drivers, they were saying that the Ferrari is getting quicker and better every single event. They actually say they cannot go through the high-speed corners as well as the Ferrari. The Ferrari is a mid-engine car, and the Porsche still is the rear engine, with the engine hanging out behind the rear wheels. They're envious of the Ferrari's abilities to get through those corners.
Kevin Buckler driving his own number 66. The Racers Group is headquartered right here at Infineon Raceway. Part of a three-car effort. Kevin normally very strong, a privateer team. They've struggled here this weekend.
Well, guys, we may be in a situation where the fastest GT cars, the Porsches particularly, cannot make it all the way on one fuel stop. Just talked to Kurt Wagner, Kevin's co-driver. He said Kevin is at this speed because if they continue at this pace, they will consume fuel at the rate that they need to guarantee only one fuel stop. And that's why he's not battling with the guys in the front. He's playing the long game.
Very good.
Interesting strategy. Well, the Racers Group team owner and driver Buckler is about 10 minutes away from home when he's here at Infineon. And like many in Northern California, Kevin is newly involved in the winemaking industry.
We just started as a hobby and a thing amongst friends, and it sort of did turn itself into a little bit of a commercial venture. I don't want to say an escape, but it's something that I enjoy. I've been passionate about the wine for a long time, so because of that, I want to be more involved in it, and I'll be more involved and go ahead and get in on the ownership side of things. And I really enjoy when the crush comes around and working with my friends that are our partners on the winery and making the wine, picking the grapes, and doing all that stuff. We actually like it. We get dirty, we get in there, and we make it happen. So, and then 3 years later, opening up a bottle, it's kind of a labor of love.
Kevin, very much the entrepreneur, very interesting fella to get to know, and certainly a terrific racer as well. The Racers Group headquartered here at Infineon Raceway. Early in the going, the Infineon Grand Prix, the third race of 2003. We'll be back on NBC Sports.
Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video or DVD, or visit us on the web today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
Sexy sports cars. Spectacular curves. The American Le Mans Series stars and cars from the world's greatest auto race. European style, American attitude. Don't miss the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, August 1st through 3rd. To order tickets, call 1-800-363-5051.
Everyone wants to be a winner. That's why racers choose Sunoco, the world's largest manufacturer of racing gasolines and official fuel of more than 400 tracks. Racers win with Sunoco. Track tested, street smart.
Last Sunday, the restaurant premiered, and critics are raving.
Are we having fun yet?
The Wall Street Journal says it's unlike anything in reality television. Whoa! And TV Guide gives it 4 stars.
How can you run out of red wine?
Tonight, the restaurant's open for business.
Fire!
I am questioning what is happening right now.
The Restaurant, NBC tonight after Law & Order Criminal Intent.
Well, this is Northern California wine country, and several American Le Mans Series drivers got into the spirit of things on Wednesday at the Napa Valley Marriott. Bill, was that a vintage you'd enjoy next year?
I don't think so. That's not the idea of having fun making wine that Kevin Buckler talked about.
There was even a little competition amongst Johnny Herbert, Eliseo Salazar, and J.J. Leto there. There's Salazar.
I think they should have made the loser drink it.
Herbert and Leto showing you their championship form here.
And stained ankles.
Under caution at Infineon Raceway on NBC Sports. One of the cars in the GT category off course, the Panos, the Hypersport car. Joe Foster at the wheel. They've had problems all weekend long. They went off up in the hills, up in one of the S sections of the racetrack. But potentially a worse situation. One of the 2 Dyson MG Lolas that started on the front row, the 20 car with Andy Wallace going slow into the corner. The 38 had to lock up there. You see Wallace offline.
Boy.
J.J. Leto just sneaking by. Let's take a look from the ADT champion Audi, see what J.J. saw.
Yeah, trying to go around the outside of that portion. Suddenly, look at that. I mean, that's how quickly things can change. Just a fractionally, you just make the tiniest indecision, and you're confronted with that.
One of the GTS Ferraris in the mix there as well. And Wallace, such a capable driver, hard to say, but probably there was another car that got him off of line. Under caution, the leaders have decided to come to pit road. Let's recap what happened. First, Jan Beekes.
Yes, the leaders in each of the classes decided to make a pit stop. First of all, for the champion Audi, it was 57.5 seconds, which is pretty decent. However, they were beat out by the Yost Audi, and they got out also just in front of the 16 machine. So there was a shuffle. They did change tires and change drivers. And interestingly, that the GTS and GT especially classes pitted, meaning they have 2 stops in their future as well. Martin?
Well, that's right, but there's a little bit of disconcern here in the Dyson pit because James Weaver was not able to get out of his pit stall for several seconds. The Yost Audi team were rather leisurely, shall we say, in hanging up the air lines and the fuel hoses. They were blocking his exit route. There's no protest, but they're just not happy.
A little bit of gamesmanship on pit road, Bill Adam.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the gamesmanship has been running the past 3 or 4 days.
Now, all of those leading teams electing to change drivers when they came to pit road. We ride with James Weaver. This is the car that had been leading, the Dyson MG. When the ADT champion team came to pit road, J.J. Leto getting out of the car, preparing for Johnny Herbert. The seat insert goes in. Tricky proposition, especially when the 2 drivers aren't the same size. Our long and short of it, Martin Haven and Tracy Wolfson illustrate the point.
When you go to drive your average car and you're only 5'2", and you share it with someone who's 6'5".
6'6"?
There you go, 6'6". Well, it's very simple. You just step in the car, adjust the seat, and your feet reach the pedals. But in a race car, it's not that easy.
Well, that's right, Tracy, especially in the open prototype class here because they have seats that don't move. So what's the solution? Well, let's take a look at this ADT Champion R8. The seat inside the car is tailored for the tall half of the driving combination, and the shorter half has one of these. It's a custom-built insert which is dropped in during the driver change and allows them to reach the pedals, no problems at all.
So now J.J. Leto takes a seat on the sidelines. Johnny Herbert will take over. The 38 car restarts second. Frank Biela got out of the Yost Audi. His teammate Marco Werner in the car number 1. They'll be the restart leaders, and there's the 1 car. And Bill, you were telling me before we came on the air today, you're not so sure that Werner's up to the task here.
No, I'm still not. I mean, I was impressed with what he did at Sebring. I thought he did a really, really good job, but he's up against 2 of the very best with Leto and Johnny Herbert. Johnny Herbert, a very, very good, very successful Formula 1 driver. That's the top class in the world. You simply don't get any better. So I think Werner is going to have to work awfully hard. And already this week, I've seen Johnny playing games with him. He would allow him to pass in practice and then to sit off his tail and study him. So Herbert really did this well. In fact, look at him peaking right now.
Herbert in the white 38, car number 1, the silver Yost Audi. Marco Werner at the throttle. They are the race leader. Of course, 4 races within 1 in the American Le Mans Series. The restart doesn't necessarily indicate who the race leader is. These cars are not your leaders, the GT cars. And there is the second Dyson MG Lola. They've had a driver change in that car. Chris Dyson taking over in that machine now. So the leaders starting to filter to the front, and here comes Herbert.
Boy, and right there, it almost looked like contact between the back of Herbert's ADT Audi and the front end of James. I thought his car just barely touched the Audi.
Watching the 20 car.
James Weaver got a great start in the number 16 Dyson car. Really, really did a fine job. I think he tried to get up and buy them before they even realized that he was alongside.
Riding with Weaver here, 3rd in the race. He's got traffic to work through. Take another look at this traffic jam.
Just look right in there. Just so close as they went through this corner.
Just brushed the bodywork a little.
I think that's all it was. That was about as close as you could get away with. Johnny just checked his mirrors here up the far end of the course and the shift lights going down. Let's see if he ducks under the Porsche here. Yeah, he does. Nope.
It's the inline racing Porsche, one of the GT entries, the 89 car.
Go ahead, Renee.
Herbert blocked there, trying to go by on the inside.
Oh boy, that is so frustrating. That's the downside of having a track like this, where there really isn't a straight, that you're constantly passing in the corners. And the slower class cars, remember we have 4 class cars, those GT cars, they are very fast. But compared to the big Le Mans prototypes, they seem slow. The drivers of the LMP cars have to be patient.
Where we are right now, heading into turn 11, the final corner here at Infineon Raceway, and up onto the short straightaway. There's a kink here along pit road, and now the only real straightaway in the racetrack. It's only about 700 feet long. Butch Leitzinger led the early laps, a very strong run for the 16 team, Martin Haven.
Yeah, Butch Leitzinger, the car really seemed to rocket away from the start. Did it feel pretty good?
Yeah, it felt very good. JJ was right there with me the whole time, though. And, you know, we get through traffic, and I just barely get through passing somebody. I think, well, he's going to be stuck behind him. And he never was. I look at my mirror, he's right on me still. So I'm going to enjoy watching the tape of this race to see what he was doing, because it must have been pretty spectacular.
Well, you might have to have a look at the last lap as well, as James just about got into the back of Johnny, so it looks like the battle continues.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him to get around those guys.
All right, well, the Dyson car's first and fourth at the moment, so Leisinger looking happy. Jan is with JJ Leto.
Yes, we were just talking about JJ Leto. In fact, Butch Leitzinger was saying you must have had some pretty crazy moves to close the gap that fast. Tell us about the start.
Well, I don't know if it was crazy. I just wasn't thinking about that way. I knew that, you know, I have to keep up with them. They were really good and consistent, and they had really good tires as well. I thought that maybe their tires starts to go down during the stint, but it wasn't the case. You know, we have very similar tires, and you know, both cars were very, very equal. Okay, it was very difficult to overtake because 675 is so good in corners and on acceleration, so there was no chance. But I just thought that, you know, if we're going to keep up the race all the way to the end, you have to be really close and not to take maximum risks, but, you know, get by as soon as possible and just follow Butch. So it was working well, and we were able to build a little gap to Joest's car, so everything was looking good. Unfortunately, the yellow flag came, and they caught up. You know, we came in at the same time, chased the drivers and things, and they just had a little bit better pit stop, so they got by, and, you know, that's not a good thing.
All right, great drive.
Thank you.
Not a good thing either. Johnny Herbert's just been passed again by James Weaver in the 675 car for second spot, Bill Adams.
Yeah, that was really good. We saw James take a shot at it right off the start, and I think he is inspired by the job that Butch Leitzinger did. I mean, Butch really, I think, has just done an outstanding job. You see Johnny fighting the car going down through this long carousel corner, as they call it, and this is the closest thing to a straight in the track. You see, it's very short. He'll be under braking right now, all the way down to second gear up at the end of the course. So not a long straight to really let these Audis run and get a big head of steam built up.
We talked about it at the top of the broadcast, Bill Adam. The configuration here at Infineon Raceway may well provide the advantage that the 675 MG Lolas, the Dyson cars, need to win today. Let's take another look at how James Weaver raced his way by Johnny Herbert a couple of moments ago.
Yeah, without question. Now, keep in mind, you are stopping a lot less weight, 350 pounds less, and the little number 16 car is able to go deeper. It's a matter of energy. You don't have to slow down that much weight. He made a very clean pass there. Nice job.
So Weaver taking advantage, diving into that last right-hand corner. So Johnny Herbert finds himself back in third spot now, about 8 seconds behind Marco Werner, the overall race leader in the Joest Audi R8. Champion trying to back up their Atlanta win here at Infineon. Can they do it again?
Keep our highways beautiful. The 911 Carrera.
Take the ribbon from my hair.
They sang songs about life and love.
Shake it loose and let it fall.
They captured our hearts.
Satin sheets to lie on.
Time
Time Life Music proudly presents the Queens of Country.
Well, I was born to coal miner's daughter.
Loretta Lynn, Kitty Wells,
In a cabin
Dolly Parton, Tammy Wynette. You'll get 30 country classics by all the great ladies of country.
If I could only win your love.
Emmylou Harris, Tanya Tucker, Patsy Cline. Get the Queens of Country on 2 CDs or cassettes for just $19.99.
I want to tell you all a story about a Harper Valley widow.
Plus, call with your credit card and we'll cut the price in half.
Once a day.
That's right. You get 30 hits for just $9.99.
I beg your pardon. I never promised.
You'll treasure this collection forever.
Funny face, I love you. Funny face.
Then review other classic country collections. Satisfaction guaranteed. So use your credit card and get 2 great albums for just $9.99.
Call 1-800-538-0300 to order Queens of Country on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes for just $9.99 plus shipping and handling when you use your credit card. Or send $19.99 to Queens of Country, Department 16, Richmond, Virginia, 23280. Or order online at timelife.com.
The Gravity Games, returning to NBC this fall.
Welcome live to Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California. Coverage of the Infineon Grand Prix presented by Foster's Lager, the American Le Mans Series on NBC Sports. Beautiful pictures of this great facility from our Porsche Skycam. Alongside Bill Adam, I'm Rick Benjamin. Martin Haven, Jan Beekes, Tracy Wolfson on pit road for us today. We've seen a very exciting first hour of coverage, and we're with you all the way to the checkered flag. Overall race leader, 47-year-old James Weaver in Rob Dyson's Lola MG. This is one of the lightweight 675 prototypes. Bill Adam, I'm starting to think that we might see some history made. For all the information on this and the entire American Le Mans series, check out our website, AmericanLeMans.com. This Dyson car has been quick all day, Bill.
It's looking very, very encouraging for them. I mean, they haven't really put a wheel wrong, and surprisingly, some of the major competition has had problems. So right now, they can run a fairly reduced pace.
Weaver has built a 19-second lead over Marco Werner in car number 1, the Team Yost Infineon Audi, and that is a surprise. We'll show you how it's gotten to this point, our Best Western race recap. This was for second spot in GT. Johnny Mollem in the 31 getting passed by one of the Job cars.
Yeah, the Alex Job cars, you can never count them out. They may start from the back, but here is one that did not want to happen. Lost a wheel. He was off the track. Brought out yellow flag, and during that, Yost car comes in.
The Yost number 1 onto pit road. They had a cut-down tire. They changed all 4 Michelins. Meantime, the ADT champion team, the green, had come back out. They had to come to pit road.
This was just a total disaster. Apparently, the first lap out under green, Johnny felt the tire going down. They did have onboard telemetry, but Johnny tried to fight back. He saw him there, a very risky blocking move against James Weaver. It would only last about half a lap. Weaver went blowing by Herbert.
James Weaver had to give ground there, but it didn't take him long to get out in front. His lead substantial, 20 seconds, because of all that pit work that went on for the Yost team and for the champion team. Take a look at our face camera here on the 47-year-old veteran.
Just off the base of the helmet, right there, you may wonder what that is. It's actually a drink tube that a lot of drivers have, just to maybe get them a little bit of fresh fluid to keep good in the car.
Our Porsche Digital Pilot showing you the speeds, the G-forces, the incredible stress on these men and their machines in the American Le Mans Series. So the Rob Dyson team looking pretty darn strong. Let's find out more about what happened on pit road and caused problems for the Audis. First to Martin Haven.
Well, you don't normally see unexpected pit stops from the number 1 Yost Audi. The reason this time was pickup. No, not trucks. Take a look at this. This is the right rear tyre, as it should look when it comes off a car. Look, nice and smooth all the way across. Great surface for producing grip. Pickup, well, take a look at down here. Even in the pit lane, right beside where the cars stop, this is the kind of stuff that rolls off the tyres all the way around the racetrack. And when this gets stuck on the tyre in big enough quantities, it feels like the thing is about to fall off the car. And that's what brought Marco Werner in. Jan has more on the champion stop.
Well, it turns out, Martin, that was the exact same situation for Johnny Herbert. He thought he had contact on the racetrack and immediately thought, I have a puncture. They do have onboard telemetry, but he made a quick decision to hit pit road. Martin showed you what a tire should look like. This is what it should not look like. This is with all the pickup on the tire off of Johnny Herbert's car. He thought there was a puncture, not enough time to verify it with the computers. He hit pit road, and that was a killer.
Yeah, and Martin made a reference right there to feeling like it's coming apart. Well, that's literally what it does feel like. You get the strongest vibration imaginable. Think of your street car and take the weights off all of the wheels. There's tremendous shaking in the car. You don't want to take a chance of it.
Let's ride around the Infineon Raceway, 2.5-mile layout, courtesy of Yokohama Tire. Get a sense of what this racetrack is all about.
Something just to keep an eye on. Look right here. We'll just look at Johnny's helmet as he's going down the straight.
A lot of buffeting there.
See how it actually drops down under braking? Now watch when he steps in the gas.
Take a listen to the motor in this race car.
Watching that speed graph, look at how quickly this car accelerates. They're 160 miles an hour right there.
Remember, there are 4 races within a race. The 2 prototype categories, this car, one of the 900s, and then 2 GT categories, the faster GTS cars and the GT machines, and how quickly he closes on these GTS cars. That's the Olive Garden Ferrari.
Yeah, now this is a car, it looks essentially like the 550 or 575 Maranello you see in the street, but make no mistake, this is more like a funny car. It looks like a Ferrari. It is a pure race car, as these all are. Even the GT class cars, they are all pure racing cars under the skin.
Showing our category standings now to GTS. Johnny O'Connell in the Corvette leads. His teammate Kelly Collins second. Herbert in 4th. He is not on the lead lap. Bill Auberlen has taken over Kevin Doran's Dallara. He is 3rd. Werner 2nd. 16 of Weaver is your leader. Tonight at 10, 9 Central. Join us for NBC's newest reality drama, The Restaurant. New York's hottest chef opening a restaurant. Anything can happen. Join us for The Restaurant tonight at 10, 9 Central on NBC.
Man, that looked like some of my barbecues.
Sign me up for the meal when we're done here. James Weaver is your leader. A 675 prototype out in front with less than an hour to go. Back with more of the American Le Mans Series Infineon Grand Prix after these words from our local NBC stations.
NBC Tuesday on an all-new Dog-Eat-Dog. They'll face the Hurricane Wedgie. They'll surf the net. They'll become a human slingshot. But nothing could ever prepare them for being fish-slapped.
That's disgusting!
All-new Dog-Eat-Dog, NBC Tuesday.
Back at Infineon Raceway, the Infineon Grand Prix of Sonoma, presented by Foster's Lager. With Bill Adam, I'm Rick Benjamin, and we are under full course yellow. Less than 45 minutes to go. 3rd time today we've had a car off. One of the Ferraris in GT, Stefan Gregoire, piling into the tire barrier at the entrance to turn 11 a moment ago. He was able to get the car back on the racetrack, though, Bill.
Quite remarkable. Right as we're going through right here, this is the fastest corner on the track. And really, it's a very dangerous corner, hit under the right conditions. A few years ago, Derek Bell had a huge crash there at a Porsche 962. He was lucky to get out, but the Ferrari really was saved by the tire barrier.
Let's listen to James Weaver, race leader, on his radio.
Please repeat, mate. What did you say?
We've got 45 minutes remaining. We can do it on about a 25-second splash and dash. If we just change the right front, are you happy to stay in?
Okay, mate. I'll stay in and just give it the old splash and dash tactic. I don't even mind.
Can't walk and go to the end on the fuel it has.
With full right hand down on, can Chris Johanning look at the right front tyre and see what he thinks, because it's you know, it's wearing a bit, but it still feels okay to me. But obviously I don't know what's going to be like when you fill out with fuel and have another stab at it.
Okay, stop and we'll change. Right.
Listening to James Weaver talking with his brand new team engineer, Peter Watson, who's also serving as the crew chief this weekend on Rob Dyson's 16 car, the Thetford Norcold MG Lola. There's James. He's got the visor up for a little air. He built a 20-second lead, Bill Adam. Sounds like they're just going to make one quick stop for some fuel.
Yeah, it was really a little consultation back and forth there. James wasn't sure whether to go for a brand new right front tire or not, so he was just discussing that possibility with the crew. And it sounds like James is willing to go fuel only, no tire change, but he's going to have somebody take a look at it.
Under full course caution for the third time today because that Ferrari.
Pass me a drink bottle, please. Another drink bottle, thank you.
Yeah, he's
warm
thirsty.
day here.
Yes.
James wants another bottle of water, or Gatorade perhaps. Stefan Gregoire, the Ferrari, back on the racetrack, as we mentioned, after the crash. Now, one of the battles within the big battle in the American Le Mans Series is among the tire manufacturers. Coming in it today, the Michelin brand had won 39 of 40 American Le Mans Series races. This is the 5th season for the series. Audi scoring 25 of those wins. Michelin has led more than 97% of all the laps run since the first few races in 1999. This car that's leading, though, is on Goodyear.
That's right, and that would be the first ever win for Goodyear overall, because the other winner was Yokohama.
In 1999?
Yes.
Stocking with full right hand down on. Chris Henning, have a look at the right front, and then you call it, okay?
Hear how calm he sounds. Very analytical.
Yeah.
He's just saying he's going to put his right hand down, turn the right front wheel out so the crew member can look at it, take a good look at the tread. Here he
The only
comes.
tire concern is that right front, according to James. Looks like we may be getting set for a restart. He's put the visor back down.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Pits
I
are
think he's
open
coming
now.
in pit lane.
He's headed to pit road.
Yep, coming in right now.
So the restart will not be this lap, obviously. James coming in. It'll be a quick splash of fuel.
Yes.
And they'll check that right front tire.
Now, I wonder what Yost are going to do running just behind him. And they're staying on the track.
Marco Werner second in the Team Yost Infineon Audi R8, the #1 car. And here is Weaver. In this series, you must shut the car off to refuel it.
Okay, they're bringing the tire out just to check.
James will stay in for the final run to the checkered flag. 42 minutes of racing still to come.
Just tapped his fresh drink bottle down into position.
Martin Hayden.
Guys, they're worried about the tire, but they were talking about double stinting it as long as there's no wear issue. Right front only it is. Incidentally, Reinhold Jost right behind this pit, or in front as James comes out, is just sitting there smiling. The #1 car goes and stays out on the track. I asked him when they came in under the previous yellow whether he thought he could make it. He said, yeah, maybe. I think this yellow might be the maybe he needed.
Back up through the gears and back onto the racetrack. He'll come out in second position because Marco Werner stayed out in the Audi.
Thank you very much.
You know, and one of the other things about these cars too, Rick, is the fact that sitting out in the open, they have such good airflow, it's cool to drive.
So Weaver getting back up onto the racetrack and will realign behind the safety car and get set for a restart. Bill Auberlin third in the Listadoran car.
Get to Mazda's zero-time event one way or another. Get 0.0% APR financing for 5 full years or up to $2,500 cash back on thousands of 2003 Mazdas. One way or another, you'll save. That's 0% financing for 5 years or cash back on 2003 Mazda cars, trucks, SUVs, and minivans. See your Mazda dealer for a test drive. You've got zero time to wait.
One way or another, I'm gonna see ya.
The world's largest hotel chain is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Visit bestwestern.com or call 1-800-WESTERN.
Designing an all-season tire to outperform performance tires wasn't rocket science.
Then again, maybe it was. Pilot Sport AS. Our most advanced Z-rated tire ever. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Chill out, cash in. Buy 4 Michelin tires and get a $50 rebate. See your Michelin dealer. Offer ends July 31st.
Sexy sports cars. Spectacular curves. The American Le Mans Series stars and cars from the world's greatest auto race. European style, American attitude. Don't miss the Grand Prix of Mosport August 15 through 17. To order tickets, call 1-800-866-1072.
Today's NBC Sports coverage of the American Le Mans Series Infineon Grand Prix, presented by Foster's Lager, is being brought to you by Mazda. There's the soul of a sports car in everything we make. And by Yokohama. Find a Yokohama dealer near you. Visit us at yokohamatire.com. Back live at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California with Bill Adam. I'm Rick Benjamin, Martin Haven, Jan Beekes, and Tracy Wolfson on pit road for us. Looking for a restart this time by. After a full course caution, one car got off the racetrack. Bill Adam, the 38 car, will start at the front, but Johnny Herbert is a lap down.
Yeah, that's the good news, but the bad news is Yost is right back about there.
Race leader Marco Werner in that silver number 1.
In fact, even closer, he is right on Johnny's tail. That would put him another lap down.
James Weaver and Rob Dyson's MG Lola, the 675 category car. That category of car has never scored an overall victory in the American Le Mans Series in its 4+ year history. Today might well be the day. The 16 has been the dominant car here. They pitted for a splash of fuel and a tire change a moment ago. Weaver restarts 10 seconds back, and Bill, he's been quicker than the Audis all day.
Yeah, he has. He has been very, very quick. One of the things right now to keep an eye on is as Werner is following up on the champion ADT tail is that, oh no, sorry, we just went back on board the leader's car now as he's breaking his way through traffic.
Weaver up to second spot, showing 10 seconds back, as we told you last time over the stripe. He's got about 12 cars, lapped cars. Here's the Olive Garden Ferrari he's approaching in GTS. About 12 cars separating Weaver from the cars at the front of the pack right now, one of which is the 1 car, Werner, who's the race leader.
Boy, and James just gave you a bit of a start right there. You see him got a little sideways going down through that corner because of his tires being a little cold.
Well, we've got 32 minutes of racing remaining here at Infineon Raceway. He can't afford to wait around because that's only about, we figure 20 laps.
And incredible, right there, the Pano's getting past him. James just picked the wrong side of the road to go on, got blocked by one of the GT class cars. Remember, 4 classes running here, and they all have huge difference of speed down through these high-speed S's.
And this is a tough spot on the racetrack. You've got quick closing speeds on some of the slower machines. You've really got to take your time and work your way carefully through here.
Yeah, be very cautious. The leaders, the champion car, the Yost car up front, they have the luxury of clear track for a few laps. But back in the pack, Weaver really has to be a little bit cautious as he winds through these cars. There's one of the GT Porsches just going by there, and up into turn 1, this very, very quick climbing.
It's Weaver in the white and blue
Look
car.
at the Porsche. Look off
That's
the track.
the PK Sport Porsche from Great Britain on Pirelli's, the 60 car. That's Robin Liddell. They got off big yesterday and wrecked that car hard. This car off again here at the exit of turn 1.
I wonder if Robin Liddell tried to get out of the way of some of the quicker cars and maybe got the right side off on the gravel, just completely losing it. Now, relatively little damage, but could he be stuck? If he is stuck, this will have tremendous benefit to the champion ADT team because they could go all the way around, rejoin the pack at the back.
This is Alex Davison driving. He partners with Liddell. Davison from Australia, and he is indeed beached up on the hill. He got way wide coming into 1. Let's take another look. He's off there.
First of all, right there, you see the dust forming on the right. He got the wheels off, and then remarkably lucky. He didn't hit a single thing. Look back here. It's a rough ride, but relatively speaking, not that dangerous. The hillside slowed him down very quickly. They will probably have to put a safety car out to drag this out of the way because for another race car to hit it, that would be dangerous.
Full course caution indeed. Pits are closed right now, and the safety car will be coming back out.
Now, if Champion was able to stay ahead of the Yost car, that will have a major effect. That's what they were praying for because that'll allow them to go around and close up on the back of the pack. I don't know if they were still ahead, though.
Now, this will also play to James Weaver's benefit, certainly. He will be able to close up again on Marco Werner for the upcoming restart. Davison unplugged out of the car. visor up. I'm sure frustrated and unhappy. It has not been a good week. The PK Sport team, terrific team over in Europe in endurance racing. We've seen them at Le Mans several times. They do very, very well. Here this weekend, it has not been what we would normally expect from them.
Both he and Robin are very good drivers, too.
So we are under full course caution once again here at Infineon Raceway with about 30 minutes to go. The Infineon Grand Prix presented by Foster's Lager. Well, a couple of weeks ago, a legendary American sporting figure passed from the scene. Our Tracy Wolfson has more.
Well, several teams have this decal on their car. BSC are the initials of Briggs Swift Cunningham, an American sports car racing pioneer who died just a few weeks ago.
Briggs Cunningham was a pure patriot and one of America's foremost international sportsmen. His Cadillac and Chrysler-powered machines were fan favorites at Le Mans during the 50s. And he was the first to take Corvette to the French Classic in 1960. His C4R claimed victory at the first ever World Championship sports car race, the 1953 12 Hours of Sebring, the car driven by John Fitch and Phil Walters. Cunningham was also a success on the water. He owned and captained the 1958 America's Cup Defender Columbia, which defeated the English challenger Scepter. Briggs Cunningham died at the age of 96, but his legacy of American racing success will be immortal.
The all-new Audi A8L, the world's most intelligently designed car.
How to speak Australian. Devotion. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Everyone wants to be a winner. That's why racers choose Sunoco, the world's largest manufacturer of racing gasolines and official fuel of more than 400 tracks. Racers win with Sunoco. Track tested, street smart.
How to speak Australian.
Oi.
Keeper.
Shall we?
Absolutely. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest rated midsize sedan among owners. And 50 international awards for the speed readers. The Mazda 6. Now get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years or $1,500 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
Several American Le Mans Series cars and stars at the state capital of California in Sacramento to lead up to the Infineon Grand Prix. A lot of fans coming out to see one of the Panoses, one of Kevin Buckler's Porsches, and several of the series drivers getting a chance to saddle up and pretend they're members of CHIPS, California Highway Patrol.
Yeah, they're happier to be sitting on that side.
Our Porsche Skycam giving us beautiful shots of the Napa Valley. Car number 43, the S Network Porsche on pit road, one of the GT class contenders, one of the two-car Orbit team members, Leo Hendry, who is the CEO of the S Network at the wheel of this machine. Orbit, of course, scored perhaps their greatest accomplishment at Le Mans last month, scoring a podium in GT in the world's most important sports car race. And driver Leo Hendry, who is also one of the chiefs on the squad, well, he and his co-driver Peter Barron decided to memorialize the accomplishment in a rather unusual way.
problem is with this, I'm failing it miserably.
Not bad. A podium at Le Mans, a tattoo to commemorate the event. And then a few days ago, Leo Hendry accompanied Bill and Hillary Clinton and Bono from the band U2 for the Nelson Mandela birthday celebration.
I'd hate to think what he would have gotten if he'd won the race.
He saved space on the other shoulder for that to happen a little bit later on. Under caution because of that incident involving the PK Sport Porsche, and the ADT champion Audi came to pit road, Jan Beekes.
Yes, you heard Bill talk about what a payday that was for Johnny Herbert to stay in front. They took advantage of it and put 4 sticker tires on. The idea, the cold sticker tires with a lot of grip do not pick up the pickup on the racetrack. They didn't lose anything. They're already at the back of the field. Now they have fresh tires and they can really push the pedal.
Boy, well, maybe you want to look for some spare body parts here, because we've seen Johnny come through the pack before, and he does tend to move other vehicles around.
Less than 24 minutes remaining here at the Infineon Grand Prix, ready for the restart. Green flag back in the air. Werner the leader. Weaver in that 675 car from the Dyson stable, right behind him in second. Look at this, Bill, Adam.
Yeah, a great move there. Olivier Beretta and the Panos actually moved over, let Weaver go by. A very classy move by Beretta.
Beretta 5th overall in the 10 car. It's been a great run for both of the JML Team Panos cars. They're 5th and 6th, but they're a lap down to the leaders. Here's Weaver.
Something to watch out for, too. Marco, right there, look at the rubber that Marco left off the back of that Audi.
Got loose off the corner.
All 3 days here in the practice sessions, Werner has been almost spectacular, almost frightening. Just that borderline between. He tends to get a little bit wild. Now, with Weaver pressure, what's he going to do? This should be fun.
We're guessing about 14, 15 laps of racing yet to come in the Infineon Grand Prix here at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California, presented by Foster's Lager. Overall leaderboard up top. Werner still out in front in that silver #1, the Yost Audi. Right behind him, James Weaver. This is the 16 car that was on the pole. Butch Leitzinger qualified the car, and that's Butch taking a look at the scoring monitor to see how his teammate James Weaver's doing. What a boost it would be for the entire series, I think, Bill, if the Dyson team, a private team, in trouble. On the corners, we've got one of the Buckler cars way offline.
Boy, Johnny Herbert just sneaking up the inside there.
That's one of the Pro Drive Ferraris, the 88 car. Thomas Enga, Peter Cox. In that machine, they have had a difficult day. Enga driving the car. They're 11th overall, but they're 4th in GTS. The 2 Corvettes have dominated in GTS. Ron Fellows is the leader by just 3 seconds over his teammate Ollie Gavin here as the laps wind down.
Yeah.
Back to Weaver running second.
So far, Werner is holding on, but again, the Audi looks a little bit loose coming off the corners. I think Weaver, all he has to do is just keep that right front tire, get it back up to temperature. We saw him take the new Goodyear on the right front. Werner off the corner much more smoothly that time. No rubber laid down by the acceleration.
James Weaver at 47 years of age, a period of life where most top shelf world racers are thinking it's about time to pack it in. James shows no signs of wanting to do that, certainly doesn't need to. Very quick again all weekend long. Next Sunday, 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific time, beginning with the Discover Card countdown to green. Join us for our coverage of the Brickyard 400. 3-time Brickyard champ Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. hoping to gain ground on points leader Matt Kenseth at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the Brickyard 400 next Sunday, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, only here on NBC Sports. We're live at Infineon Raceway with the American Le Mans Series. We'll be back for the run to the finish in a moment.
Introducing Cayenne, pure Porsche in a most unexpected form.
How to speak Australian. Devotion. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Centrum Performance unleashes the energy inside you. Unlike ordinary multivitamins, Centrum Performance is charged with higher levels of energy-essential nutrients to help re-energize your body every day. Centrum Performance. It's your energy. Unleash it.
One of the beautiful things about women is they don't sweat or smell like a guy. Our body chemistry is just different.
Introducing Arm & Hammer Ultramax Antiperspirant Gel.
It's made for a man's body chemistry.
Ultramax stops odor at the source. So strong, tests show it offers superior odor protection versus the leading gel at 8, 12, even 24 hours.
It's all the muscle a man needs.
New Arm & Hammer Ultramax Gel.
Oh, I should have used Preparation H.
Cool it fast with new Preparation H Cooling Gel. Now with vitamin E and aloe. Cools on contact for fast relief. New Preparation H Cooling Gel with vitamin E and aloe.
How to speak Australian.
Oi.
Keeper.
Shall we?
Absolutely.
Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Next weekend, great NASCAR action. Saturday, 8 Eastern on TNT. Busch Series racing from Indy. Sunday, 2 Eastern on NBC. The Brickyard 400. Jeff Gordon's won at famed Indy 3 times. Dale Earnhardt Jr. seeks his first Indy win. Can they narrow the gap on points leader Matt Kenseth? NASCAR on NBC and TNT.
While we were away at Infineon Raceway, James Weaver was able to take the Rob Dyson Lola MG around the number 1 of Marco Werner. He's back in the lead, Bill Adam, and he's pulling away.
He is pulling away really strong. And this is such an impressive performance by the entire team. Not only has the car run flawlessly, but both James and Butch have driven beautifully. Look at the setup here. He takes advantage of the extremely good braking of the lighter car. The Yost Audi moved as far over as possible, almost touching. James was not to be intimidated. Beautiful. Now we'll go on board James' car to see his view. Look at this, just diving down the inside. And once he's there, even if the Audi taps him, he's in the better spot.
The 675 car of Weaver does not have nearly the power of the Audi. Here's what it looked like from Werner's seat.
And you just watch that little Lola MG disappear. Coming off the corner, the lightweight helps so much.
Remember that the MG Lola is about 250, maybe 300 pounds lighter than the Audi, which has dominated this series for the last 3 seasons. We'll show you the overall standings in each category. Weaver leading overall and in 675. His teammate, young Chris Dyson, second. Dave McAtee, second and third spot. The 900s, Werner in the 1. Bill Auberlen and Kevin Doran's Dallara with the Judd MG motor in second. Johnny Herbert sits third. Great drive for Auberlen. GTS, the 2 Corvettes, Jan Magnussen leading of his teammate Ferrari, the the second Pro Drive car, and in GT, Timo Bernhard has taken the number 24 Alex Joe Porsche to the top of the GT standings right now. James Weaver is the overall leader at the Infineon Grand Prix. Wednesday night at 8/7 Central on NBC. Join us for Race to the Alder. 8 couples competing for the wedding of their dreams. It could bring them together, or it could tear them apart. Race to the Alder Wednesday night at 8/7 Central on NBC. And we'll be back with more of the Infineon Grand Prix at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California. Keep it here on NBC Sports.
At the center of a mystery.
Is there no one in the venerable law firm of Lyon, LaCrosse, and Levine familiar with obstruction of justice?
There's a new man in power.
It was a setup. For what?
And he's about to change the rules.
What are you afraid of? Nothing.
Rob Lowe.
I accept the position.
Is in the Lion's Den. NBC Sundays this fall.
The American Le Mans Series is live on NBC Sports. The Infineon Grand Prix of Sonoma, presented by Foster's Lager. With Bill Adam, I'm Rick Benjamin, Martin Haven, Jan Beekes, Tracy Wolfson on pit road for us. Watching from our Porsche Skycam, this beautiful layout in the hills of wine country, Northern California. Race leader is James Weaver in Rob Dyson's Thedford Norcold MG Lola. They've been working on this race car, Bill, for a year. They got the first one just about a year ago, and they've had a lot of things to work through. Is reliability their big question now?
I think it is. I mean, they have been working very hard, but this little motor has to work so hard to make that sort of horsepower that we've seen those problems develop in the past, particularly the John Field team, but Dyson have done a little bit better job.
13 minutes and change remaining here at Infineon Raceway. That's time for about 11 laps. Let's get it down to pit road to the Dyson pits, find out how they see this thing shaping up.
Well, they see it the same way we do. Butch, we've just been watching James take the lead from Marco Werner. You're looking pretty calm, considering you're right up now for a first-time win.
Well, I'm calm because I'm not the one out there having to struggle for this. You know, I watched it on TV, and that was a mega move. You know, I've been on the receiving end of some of James' passes, and I knew he was the one. If we're gonna have to battle back, he was definitely the one to do it.
Now listen, you're still in the first year of this car. Motorsport celebrates the anniversary of Rob bringing this car to the American Le Mans Series. It's been a big learning curve. Do you feel you finally got to grips with the machinery?
We're definitely getting on top of it. I wouldn't say that we're quite there yet, because we need to get more consistent and be able to get to play on a bigger range of tracks, but we're definitely on our way.
All right, well, this may be a track that suits the car, but boys, they've worked hard to get where they are.
And all of a sudden, Marco Werner has turned up the wick in the Yost Audi, and he's closed right back up on Weaver.
Yeah, Martin, while you were talking to Butch, I thought Werner was actually going to hit Weaver at one point. They came so close, just inches apart. And as he's going down these back S's at 130, 140 miles an hour, he still is only a couple feet back.
Riding with Weaver, this is the rear deck lid cam, if you will, looking out probably from the rear suspension of the 16 car. And Weaver starting to pull away again. The 16 does have demonstrable advantage in certain parts of this racetrack, no doubt about it.
Well, the weight is the biggest single thing. I mean, the more weight you have, the more it's reluctant to change direction. So down to the very quick S's back and forth, that little MG Lola is very, very quick.
Started to ask you this before, and some other things happened. We didn't get to quite finish the thought. How important to the American Le Mans Series would it be if one of the 675s, the Dyson car, was able to close the deal and win for the first time ever?
Giant, just a giant achievement, because here's a private team beating the best in the world.
The Yost team, of course, factory back for several years. This year, the Audi factory has taken a couple of steps back. They've left one car in the hands of Reinhold Yost and his group, but still major backing, lots of engineering, plenty of development, and a terrific race car.
I do like to bet if Dyson team does go through and win this, there's going to be a record amount of Fosters consumed.
I would certainly think so. One car kicking up some dust. Weaver lengthens the lead a tiny bit, 0.8 of a second last time they came by start-finish. Closing in on 10 minutes to go at Infineon Raceway. The Dyson team watching and waiting.
The world's largest hotel chain is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Visit bestwestern.com or call 1-800-WESTERN.
All-new Audi A8L, the world's most intelligently designed car.
Tuesday on Last Comic Standing, the final comics perform live in Vegas.
I'm going to crack joke for you. We're going to do it right now. I'm just kidding. I speak English. I'm just playing around.
And America will vote in one last chance to be the last comic standing.
Run, Dak Fang, run. Swim back to Vietnam. Go now.
Only 2 episodes left. Last Comic Standing, all new NBC Tuesday.
Back live at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California on NBC Sports, coverage of the American Le Mans Series. Final 9 minutes of action here today, and an upset in the making of huge proportions. James Weaver, Butch Leitzinger have been the dominant cars here today. The first time a 675 prototype, one of the lighter, smaller horsepowered cars, in position to score an overall win. They were on the pole at Road Atlanta about a month ago. They took the pole strongly here this weekend. In fact, both cars on the front row from that team. And the Audis may get their they may get their clocks cleaned here today.
They have been fast but fragile to this point, and it looks like that they have finally found the track that literally is perfect for them. But the battle really isn't over yet. I mean, just a lap or two go. Marco Werner closed up very, very close. And at any given time, if somebody happens to make a mistake and a pace car goes out, oh, here's a whole new ballgame.
Weaver continuing to be very, very smooth. A moment ago, the lead was down to about a 10th. Werner had caught Weaver in traffic. Weaver has got open racetrack, and he's now 2.6 seconds to the good as the laps wind down. Let's update you on the closed race cars, GTS and GT. The two Corvettes are running 1-2. In fact, Ron Fellows is leading now, and Bill Adam, that's a tremendous accomplishment. They started 27th after those qualifying problems.
Yeah, patience paid off for Ronnie and Johnny O'Connell to come back through the field like that. You can see the car is perfect. There isn't a mark on it. Their experience is so good. They take their time because they know they can do this.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about the battle between those two teammates and the amount of ground that the Car 3 Corvette made up. They had to do it twice. The 4 crew did a beautiful job on their pit stop when they pitted at the same time. They just about exchanged lots of fiberglass on the way out, but the 4 beat them out. Then it was all down to traffic, and it's the 3 Corvette today that has really been the fastest car through traffic, and that's what's made the difference.
In that 4, Oliver Gavin back behind the wheel. He started. It looked like he was going to have things mostly his way. The 2 Ferraris, the 2 pro-drive cars, Enga and Cox, and then David Brabham and Jan Magnussen that just joined the team this weekend. They won this race a year ago in a Panos. We thought they would have an opportunity to score a huge win as we see the GT battle for the lead. One of the Ferraris on pit road with bodywork flapping in the breeze. That tells you a little of what their problem has been.
Yeah, I think that probably is the Jan Magnussen car coming back into the pits there because they punted that one car pretty hard early on. I expected the hood. Great battle here at GT as well.
Timo Bernhard, Jörg Bergmeister in the number 24 for the Alex Job McKenna Porsche team. They're out in front. Their team car, the 23, Lucas Luhr and Sasha Maassen right behind. Tremendous rivalry between these 4 Porsche factory drivers.
Yeah, I like that so much, that Alex Job gives them the freedom to go out and race. It's kind of like watching the Williams sister play tennis. Who do you cheer for? Because that's all one team right there, and yet they have a complete open checkbook to go and race. Just don't damage the car, guys.
A Ferrari sits 3rd at GT. The 360 Modena is eligible for the GT category, and Anthony Lazzaro has the number 35 car with Ralph Kellener's up in 3rd spot. Lucas Luhr trying to get around his teammate and take the lead. Drivers will do anything to go racing. Lucas started with a little bit of thievery from his dad.
Age at 8 or 9, I was with him at the racetrack, and beside the racetrack there was a little go-kart track, and I asked him if I can go for a go-kart ride. I said no. He said no. So during his stint, I steal his wallet and went to the kart place and you know, did a couple of laps, and then I was bothering him for buying me a go-kart. And then at Christmas some year, I don't remember, he bought me a card, and then it starts from there, you know.
Some guys will do anything to get their first ride.
Maybe that's why I bought my daughter a go-kart. I figured she'd steal my money if I did.
Little bit of the con man in Lucas Luhr. Look at him pressure Timo Bernhard as the laps wind down here at Infineon Raceway. James Weaver leads overall by 2.7 seconds. This is for the lead in GT.
Yeah, and I think he really wants it too. You're going to see Lucas trying to stick that nose up alongside Timo. There's a lot of pride in this team. Neither one wants to be second.
James Weaver leading the race. The 675 category is also his. Car number 1, Marco Werner. The Team Yost Infineon Audi R8 running second by 2.7 seconds. We're going to take a quick timeout. We show you the top 7 overall. We will be back. The top 7 in 900 prototype.
There it is. Whoa. Change of plans. Turn right.
Well.
Introducing Cayenne, pure Porsche, in a most unexpected form.
Designing an all-season tire to outperform performance tires wasn't rocket science. Then again, maybe it was. Pilot Sport AS. Our most advanced Z-rated tire ever. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Chill out, cash in. Buy 4 Michelin tires and get a $50 rebate. See your Michelin dealer. Offer ends July 31st.
In an age of political correctness, we have 2 words.
Your mama.
This fall, one show dares to go...
I haven't felt so oppressed since the Ayatollah blew up my beach house.
Where no show has gone before.
Your people do scare me. I mean, I see 3 or 4 of you guys on an airplane, I'm off.
Whoopee, coming Tuesdays to NBC.
Northern California wine country, the beautiful setting for the American Le Mans Series on NBC Sports. Coverage of the Infineon Grand Prix at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma. With Bill Adam, I'm Rick Benjamin. A couple of laps to go, inside 4 minutes, and going for the lead, Marco Werner. He's right up behind James Weaver again.
And he got a terrible block there. Right now, James Weaver just ran across a slower car at the worst possible place. All of a sudden, his 2.5-second lead just evaporated, and Werner is right back on his tail one more time.
This is for the overall lead. A 675 prototype has led much of the race. The number 16 Dyson entry. Butch Leitzinger on pole with that car. James Weaver has driven much of the race. Werner had led for a time. He is now giving chase with just a couple of minutes to go. There you see the clock on the top left of your screen. Less than 3 minutes, about 2 laps. If you're enjoying this one, you won't want to miss on Sunday, August 17th, in 3 weeks, our coverage of the Grand Prix of Motorsport, 2 o'clock Eastern. Bill and I will be there on NBC Sports. Next week, the series races in Trois-Rivières, Quebec, Canada, just north of Montreal, through the streets there. And that's a place where the 675s might have a lot of advantage as well. All the information from Trois-Riv, of course, at our website, AmericanLeMans.com.
Yeah, exactly, Rick. I mean, that's a very good point. That Trois-Rivières is very similar to not really any long straights at all. It should be a pointed squirt kind of track for this car, just to get off the corner so quickly. But right there, I mean, we saw that James got blocked. The same thing happened about 5 corners later. The Audi got blocked badly coming down through the carousel. And you see how much time you lose huge chunks of time with this track.
Well, you know, James has kept his eye on the one car in his mirrors, and he's got so much experience at age 47, knowing that the one is back there and how great a race car and race team that is. I bet he didn't feel much pressure at all.
No, I don't think so. I think he feels pretty good right now, and he probably would have to worry about the fact that Werner was so close, because he did take such a risky move just 10 minutes back.
Should see the white flag next time around. These shots from our Porsche Skycam here at Infineon Raceway. It's been a terrific event. Great battle. This is still for the GTS lead. The 2 factory Corvettes, and Bill, as you mentioned, no team orders. It's get to the finish line as quickly as you can.
Yeah, definitely. Ollie Gavin would love to win this. That they had that heartbreak to go all the way back to the Sebring 12-hour race. Had this terrific lead. Looked like it was in the bag and had a dry chest come apart. Just an inconceivable failure that had never happened to the team before. So they want to win every chance they get. And I think particularly for Kelly Collins, Gavin's co-driver. He is California, has a lot of his friends here, so you always like to show off a little bit to your pals.
Kelly trying to work lap traffic, one of the Ferraris of GT. And in the GT category, Lucas Luhr did get by Timo Bernhard. Boy, there'll be a lot of stories told at dinner tonight with this bunch.
Look at Timo.
Luhr in the 23 is leading. Bernhard in the 24 trying to get back by him, one of Kevin Buckler's cars. That might be Cord Wagner in the 66, Buckler's teammate. They field 3 cars here. The Racers Group based here at Infineon Raceway. Should see the white flag. Less than a minute of clock time remaining. White flag in the air. James Weaver taking the white. His lead substantial. Marco Werner a good 25 car lengths back. 3.5 seconds. Weaver now, last time around this 2.5-mile road circuit in the hills of Northern California.
Oh, and the Dyson crew right now, they must be ready for this. In fact, I could
James has anything to say to his crew chief.
I don't think so yet.
On board, Johnny Herbert, ADT champion Audi, 4th overall. There's the 3rd place car, Bill Auberlen, right in front of him, 0.3 of a second. This is for 3rd.
And you've heard us refer to Bill Auberlen driving this Dallara MG. This is a different MG than what is in the lead car. It is a Judd V10 that MG bought the rights to. It's a big, strong V10 motor, not the small engine that's in the 675 car.
Auberlen, one of the great sedan drivers in road racing in America. An American driver, raced for Panos last year, had a lot of success. Really unheralded, though, and a guy who I think ought to get a shot at some other things. He's got tremendous talent.
Yeah, I think he's doing, particularly here. He is very, very fast at this racetrack. Now, Johnny has got to try and get around the Corvette.
And James Weaver heading to the checkered flag. History about to be made in the American Le Mans Series. You're seeing it live on NBC Sports. First time ever that a 675 prototype is going to score an overall victory.
Now he's been,
and there is the checkered flag for James Weaver and the Dyson Racing Team. Weaver and Leitzinger win at Sears Point. The Bedford Norcold MG Lola. Let's listen in. James saluting the fans, popping the visor up.
Fantastic, James, just fantastic.
It is indeed.
Thank you very much indeed. Great battle for third meantime as they come to the line. Johnny Herbert trying to get by Oberlin. Oh, and there's contact. Oberlin held up by a left car.
Yeah, Johnny tried to go around the outside. I think that was incidental. That is not to be held against Herbert. He made a brilliant move right there. Billy Oberlin just barely touched him.
Oberlin got picked off. He's going to try him, and Oberlin hits Herbert after the checkered flag.
What on earth?
Oberlin drilled Herbert on the back end after they took the checkered flag. He thought he had a chance.
I can tell you
Hopefully
guys,
we can show you that again.
That's what they call a short break. He just jammed the brakes on as soon as he got to the start-finish line.
Let's show you how this happened. Wild action for third. Herbert takes the spot on the last corner, punches the brakes maybe. Oberlin drills it.
You know what, Yada, I agree. I think Johnny Herbert did do that deliberately. I thought maybe that was just one of those things that he backed off the gas, but I'm not convinced.
Well, Oberlin was picked off on a lapped car. Herbert made contact with him going into the corner. So Johnny Herbert, for the moment, has third. But James Weaver and Butch Leitzinger are your winners of the Infineon Grand Prix. We'll be back.
Get to Mazda's zero-time event one way or another. Get 0.0% APR financing for 5 full years or up to $2,500 cash back on thousands of 2003 Mazdas. One way or another, you'll save. That's 0% financing for 5 years or cash back on 2003 Mazda cars, trucks, SUVs, and minivans. See your Mazda dealer for a test drive. You've got zero time to wait.
How to speak Australian. Devotion. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
The world's largest hotel chain is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Visit bestwestern.com or call 1-800-WESTERN.
How to speak Australian.
Oi.
Keeper.
Shall we?
Absolutely. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
One of the beautiful things about women is they don't sweat or smell like a guy. Our body chemistry is just different.
Introducing Arm & Hammer Ultramax Antiperspirant Gel.
It's made for a man's body chemistry.
Ultramax stops odor at the source. So strong, tests show it offers superior odor protection versus the leading gel at 8, 12, even 24 hours.
It's all the muscle a man needs.
New Arm & Hammer Ultramax Gel.
Today's NBC Sports coverage of the American Le Mans Series Infineon Grand Prix, presented by Foster's Lager, is brought to you by Audi, the all-new A8L, and by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tire. Back in the wine country of Northern California, the Infineon Grand Prix is complete, and a surprise winner, Martin Haven, is with the Victory Lane celebration.
Surprise, James Weaver, but exhausted. Looked pretty tough out there.
Yeah, the Yost guys were very quick, as always, and our car was very quick from 7 back to 11, but we were struggling a bit in the traffic, and got a couple of bad breaks near the end and a couple of lucky breaks, so that's motor racing.
So that one is for Rob Dyson back home to enjoy.
Absolutely. Governor, thank you very much.
Jan Beekers.
And an incredible drive, of course, in GTS as well. Johnny O'Connell, Ron Fellows. Let Ron Fellows get the helmet off quickly. What a drive through the field.
I tell you what, the one thing about everyone on the number 3 cars, we never quit. Ron had a killer first stint. That caution closed the gap. Our guys in the pits, Dan Binks, everybody on the team. By the way, Gary Young, get well, baby, man. We missed you. But we got the lead on the start and on the restart, and it was a good fight, both cars all around. Ron did a great job bringing it home. I knew we were good to win.
Congratulations, guys.
Marco Werner, the winner of the 900 class. Marco, that was the toughest ending of a race I think we've had for a long while.
Yeah, it was a very, very hard race. Congratulations to the Dyson team. It was a very good drive from them. It was too quick for me. I pushed every lap at the end. Maybe I have a chance in the track, I think so, but there come no chance, and congratulations to the other team. But okay, I'm happy. Now we lead in the championship. That's important for our points.
Well, there's the main point, of course, for the Audi team. They still win their class, get maximum championship points.
They certainly do. The celebration taking place in Victory Lane. GT honors the Alex Job McKenna Porsche team, Lucas Luhr in the car number 23, defeating his teammate Timo Bernhard. One of the Ferraris finishes third for Anthony Lazzaro, and Cor Wagner, Kevin Buckler, finish fourth overall. We'll take you through our complete rundown, the complete order of finish of the Infineon Grand Prix presented by Foster's Lager. Weaver and Leitzinger win. Werner and Biela finish second. Bill Adam?
Yeah, great battle. And look, I think the credit goes to everybody, because in every single class, the battles were nonstop, right to the final flag, a half second apart.
Terrific battle indeed up front. I wasn't sure about the 16 car. Weaver and Leitzinger obviously very quick, but could they make it last for the whole 2 hours, 45 minutes?
Well, they've always felt that they had the potential there, and now it looks like it's getting better and better. Plus, they go to a track that is right the same as this one for the next one. They're going to ride that wave of confidence.
And it's so important in this series. Tire construction, tire manufacturer, first win by Goodyear tires overall.
Huge. That's going to do a lot for them as well.
As we see the entire field, John Field, Duncan Dayton, who won in the 675 prototypes at Road Atlanta, failed to make the start here today. The celebrations continuing to go on in Victory Lane. There you see the Dyson car. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up our coverage of the American Le Mans Series Infineon Grand Prix. First to Andrea Joyce in our New York studios and the Allstate NBC Sports Update. Back live at Infineon Raceway, Sonoma, California. The American Le Mans Series on NBC Sports. James Weaver, Butch Leitzinger, the overall winners. But the GT class went a late race pass. Tracy Wolfson's with the winner.
Lucas, congratulations. You passed your teammates. It was a battle out there. You passed them with just a few laps to go.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we start from the really last position, and I did the start. I had a really good stint, and I was second behind Jörg when we came to the pits. Then we lost. Sasha went in. He did a hell of a job as well. And at the end, I got back in with Timo, and we had the fight. It was so close. I'm really happy and glad that the race is over.
Well, congratulations. Back up to you guys.
Lucas Luhr, Sasha Maassen started 30th on the grid. Be sure and join us here on NBC Sports Sunday afternoon, August 17th at 2 Eastern. Our American Le Mans Series coverage will continue with the Grand Prix of Motorsport from Bowmanville, Ontario, just outside Toronto, Canada. Coming up tonight, beginning at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on NBC, a 2-hour Dateline NBC, followed by Law and Order Criminal Intent and The Restaurant. For Bill Adam, Martin Havett, Jan Beekes, and Tracy Wolfson, I'm Rick Benjamin saying so long from Sonoma, California, and the Infineon Grand Prix presented by Foster's Lager. And once again, our winners, James Weaver and Butch Leitzinger for the first time ever for Dyson Racing. You've been watching the American Le Mans Series on NBC Sports. We'll talk to you next time.